Hey everyone. Today I want to share a story with you that might sound a bit strange at first, but stick with me. I promise it makes sense. Imagine waking up tomorrow with a new roommate. Not just any roommate, probably the worst one you could imagine. They can't cook, so you're making all the meals. They can't entertain themselves, so you're constantly entertaining and they're constantly demanding your attention. It gets worse, they won't even use the bathroom properly, so you're literally cleaning up their mess every single day. Most of us would run for the hills, right? Yet millions of people choose to live with exactly this type of roommate. We call them babies. And here's the fascinating part. Most parents, despite being exhausted and challenged daily, describe having children as one of the most fulfilling experiences in their lives. And why is that? It all comes down to something I've been thinking about a lot. The relationship between effort and meaning. When we put enormous effort into something meaningful, it energizes us. But when our effort is put into something that feels meaningless, it drains us completely. Think about it, how things can change instantly if you know you have to redo it, rendering it meaningless. Pitching your tent, but it's in the full sun, so you have to do it. Deleting every bad photo in your phone one by one and finding out that you can actually do it in bulk. At work, this happens a lot. And it explains why some people burn out in highly paid jobs, while others thrive in challenging but purposeful work. Let me break it down in these two crucial elements I already mentioned: effort and meaning. Effort is the energy, time, resources we invest into something. It's the early mornings, the late nights, the physical and mental strain we endure to achieve something. We all have a finite amount of effort we can give. Meaning is the value we attach to our actions and achievements. It's the why behind what we do. It's what makes us feel connected to something bigger than just ourselves. And unlike effort, meaning is infinite. We can find more meaning without depleting our reserves at any time. I've noticed that there are two dangerous imbalances we need to watch out for when we talk about effort and meaning. First, high effort, low meaning. This is your classic burnout scenario. You're working really hard, but you can't connect with why you're actually doing it. This often leads to quiet quitting, the trend that is still recent, or I think it started in 2024. Or it just ends in complete exhaustion. And think about someone working overtime at their job they hate just for the paycheck. Sure, they're surviving, but at what cost? Second is high meaning and low effort. This might seem less problematic, and you might think of it as gaining meaning at a really low cost of little effort, killer. But it's actually a silent killer of fulfillment. When you see great meaning in something but aren't putting in the effort, you can start to resent yourself. And this can be a straight path to depression. It's like having a dream of starting your own business, but never really taking the plunge out of fear. The gap between who you are and who you want to be grows wider every day. And it's catastrophic to your long-term mental health. So the key is in finding the balance. And when you discover something meaningful, but struggle to put in the effort, the trick is to start small. Build habits gradually. And when building habits, it's always more important to be consistent than to do something big. So when you're not consistent, just make it smaller. When you're putting in tons of effort but are struggling to find meaning, then step back. Look at the bigger picture. It might be that others around you might be finding what you're doing meaningful, but you actually don't. And then switch it up. Or when on the other end, you put in the effort, but you're not seeing the meaning in it, you could also benefit from looking at a few different perspectives. First, you could ask yourself, what would you do if you would win a prize that gives you your salary for the rest of your life? It's a good way of gauging what is meaningful to you, because often we are driven by getting an income for just basic survival. Another question has really transformed my perspective, and it's simply asking, what am I learning from this? Because growth, becoming a better person, that's always meaningful to me. Might be different for you, but this is a real good trick for me. And sometimes life doesn't give us strength directly, but it gives us opportunities to build strength. So sometimes stepping back and asking, what am I learning, makes me aware that I am building strength, but I've just not been given it straight out. If you're currently in a job that you don't particularly love, then you might ask yourself, what skills am I developing? How am I becoming more resilient? What am I learning about dealing with different types of personalities? That asshole of a boss, different departments, different industries, and suddenly that same situation could be given new layers of meaning. Remind yourself of those layers whenever you get into a rut. The beautiful thing about this balance is it's dynamic. What feels meaning to you today might change tomorrow, and that's perfectly okay. The effort required for different tasks will also be different throughout your life. As an example, I know that staying strong and healthy has definitely become harder since I'm a dad, but luckily it's also become a lot more meaningful as I need to be there for my son and my family as well as for myself. So the key is to staying conscious of both elements and regularly checking in with yourself where you're at in that balance. And look, I'll be honest, I still struggle with this balance sometimes. There are days that I wish I had some universal source of meaning to fall back on, but what I've learned is that meaning often reveals itself through community, through sharing our journeys and others who are also trying to grow. At least that's the case for me. It's also actually one of the reasons that I'm building a community, because growing is hard enough, we shouldn't have to do it alone. I feel that when we share our struggles and victories, when we support each other in finding meaning and applying effort effectively, we all benefit. If this resonates with you at all, I'd love for you to join us. Visit www.evergrow.community. Check out the introduction video. Feel free to sign up through the form on the website, because we're building a space where we can explore these ideas together, support each other's growth, and help each other find the sweet spot between effort and meaning. And remember, it's not about avoiding effort. It's about finding the meaning that makes that effort worthwhile. Let me know what's meaningful to you in the comments. I'd love to see. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.